Hey folks, Silveus here. Do some more task hunting in Tibia. I'm taking a break from my tour series, mostly because that's soul-crushingly boring, as it turns out. I'm on my knight right now, Dao. Unlike Silveus, who's the royal paladin, she's a lower level. She clocks in at 65, has worse skills. What do we got here? Yeah, 79 versus 97. And Silveus also has higher shielding at I think like 80 something versus my 73 here. To be fair though, she's also only like a month old and, you know, a lower level. Excuse me, got the hiccups again. She also, unlike Silveus, who plays on Olympa, which is non-PvP, she's on Amera, which is the original American server, and it's PvP. So, we are going to task some Bonebeasts. I have the task for that, killing in the name of Bonebeast. I have 267 out of 300, so I need to kill another 33, which is a pain that I have to go to this island specifically for that. So you go from Liberty Bay, that's the city we're currently in, and you go from Liberty Bay to Romoa, I think it's pronounced, and spelled, yeah, you have to pay this guy 500 gold for it, which is lame. And then you have to run all the way over here through this pile of mountain trolls. You actually have to do a series of way annoying quests to do that. For now, I should mention that the first time you do this, you have to keep traveling from Liberty Bay to Face until you get lucky. I just did air quotes, by the way. I gotta get that webcam set up, but it's way too hot for me to care right now. Until you get the lucky event of having your ship get shipwrecked and landing on this piece of crap island. Then you have to kill a bajillion swamp troll or island trolls until you get wood so that you can go back. Then you have to loot this body so that you can get a spell book of Drahaga or something it is. Then you have to do a whole bunch of annoying quests in whoops, that was not the right spell. That was also not the right spell. Yeah, you have to do a whole bunch of annoying quests in Liberty Bay. They are annoying. Let's just go with annoying for now. The quests are annoying. They're kind of pointless. They take a long time. Eventually, you end up getting to an island called, like, Marina, I think it is. From Marina, you can meet some not skeleton dude, some witch doctor dude. I think his name's Chandra, something like that. And Chandra will ask you for a dead sheep, a dead black sheep, a dead chicken, and a dead rat, I think it is, to allow you to walk through that energy barrier that I walked through. The first time you try to go to Romoa, you have to go through this volcano, and you have to go through like an annoying dungeon. A word of caution and a note is, before you do that, check the world board, which is located at the Adventurers Guild. It may say something about like a volcano erupting on Gorma, or whatever again this place is called, Gorma. If there's a volcano erupting on Gorma, Gorma normally is filled with a couple of dragons, some fire devils, some fire elementals, and then there's a point where it's got some like necromancers and stuff in it like that. This is like a volcanic section that you go through that has the fire elementals and stuff. If the volcano is erupting, the elementals, the fire devils, and the like that stuff disappear and are replaced with diabolic imps, dragon lords, hellfire fighters, and demons. So while it's kind of a hassle to get through that at like level 50 in the first place, it's impossible to get through that if it's filled with demons while you're at level 50. So don't even try, in other words. After you do it, and I'll actually showcase the spot where it takes place, but alright, time for me to go back down real quick while I'm trying to remember my hotkeys. I play on Silveus for too long and I kind of don't remember how my hotkeys work. I'm like, which button does what? What am I doing right now? I don't know what's going on. Alright, well, at least they're dead. Yeah, coming up from that staircase can be a little bit intense. Just a little, though. Alright, we'll throw these bodies away. Wrong hotkey. On Silveus, I have my hotkeys set to the, like, my tools, my rope and stuff like that on Silveus are shift. No, they're control. On this character, they're shift. And that's what's confusing me right now. Oh boy. Alright. I still wanted to go through these bodies and make sure I wasn't missing anything. I guess I should be attacking him, huh? Did I already skin that one? Oh, man, it is so hot and so humid and so wretched temperature-wise right now that I'm like wanting to cry. I know some people will complain about like wintertime and they'll be like, oh my god, it's so cold. And then there's certain people, a lot of people that I'm related to, unfortunately, that will complain about the temperature regardless of what it is. They'll be like, oh my god, it's so hot in the summer. And they'll be like, oh my god, it's so cold in the winter. I'm not one of those people. When winter comes around, I will rejoice. When it's winter and it's like 40 degrees outside, I will complain that it's too hot while it's 40 degrees outside. You will never hear me going, it's too cold, unless I'm literally in the process of freezing to death. I just want people to know. Anyway, when you first pop up on here, you'll not be at that staircase that I originally came up in. You'll come up from a different route. I'll show that different route, but I'm deviating to kill the single giant spider that's on this island first. I guess we'll target the demon skeleton. Oh, great, 2 demon skeletons. My plan was to target the demon skeleton first and get that out of the way, but now that there's 2, that's kind of not a good approach. Alright, now I can target the demon skeleton. No, don't die on top of your friend. There we go. Alright. You know, I wish I could just, like, have a moment of peace, guys, so that I could, you know, finish talking about what I was talking about. So, yeah, when you first get up here, you have to, essentially make your way across the island, and then you get to there and you walk through the teleporter, and then that triggers the teleporter hub there to, like, work, so that you can always go through it. But the first time, you have to take the long route. And again, that part about the pay attention to make sure that event thing isn't happening so that you don't get massacred, make sure you do that. Because I played around with it the one time and I jumped down just to see what was in there, and it was like immediately 2 diabolic imps. Now I'm not sure exactly how much damage diabolic imps do or what they do, because they're not something I've ever looked into, because, you know, there's no reason for me to be hunting those. I'm pretty confident they go invisible, actually, which is the main reason why I had no interest in ever going near them. Oh, come on. I hate when I put enemies down to that little amount of HP. Wait, couldn't you just hit the last little bit? Alright. Well, I'm doing good on the number of Bonebeasts to kill. I'm not doing so hot on my remembering what button does what thing right now, though. Alright, yeah, I just wanted to mosey on down here because there should be a giant spider over somewhere. Yeah, you can see this. There we go. Giant spider. And a Bonebeast. Not great. Oh my god, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons still. Like pro tip for people, maybe if you've been like playing one character for an extended period of time, don't just immediately charge into like potentially dangerous spots. Just, you know, like as a thought. Maybe take a little bit of time to remember what your hotkeys were. It might be in your best interest. See, because, like, you know, I wouldn't have wasted 160 mana on that kind of useless attack when no enemies were around me, when I was trying to cast Recovery on myself. Supposedly these little cocoons, spider eggs I guess they're called, when you pop them open, sometimes like a spider pops out. And apparently, sometimes it can be a tarantula, sometimes it can be a poison spider, sometimes it can be a regular spider, and sometimes it can be a giant spider, is according to what the wiki says. I don't know exactly how true that is. You can see here that Bonebeasts aren't really a great thing for knights to hunt. I took the task anyway because I knew where they were, and I knew like kind of how to fight them in the first place, and also because, you know, they lead to a boss. But they kind of suck. They do way too much damage to be something that a knight really wants to be fighting in melee. Also, they're surrounded by demon skeletons, which are also something that's not really great for knights. An enemy with a powerful, unblockable melee attack is not really the greatest thing for a knight, let me tell you. Oop, I'm getting low on HP. So yeah, the basic way of how this is working right now is that I just chug massive amounts of potions and then just grind my way through everything, which is not really ideal. I suppose it's probably doing wonders for my magic level, though. I keep hitting that. See, my obsidian knife on Silveus is shift 2 on my gamepad. And on this, it's Control 3. Or no, it's Control 2 on Silveus. It's Shift 3 on this game. So it's causing me. It's causing me a little bit of headache because I keep pushing the things around. Worth mentioning is if you're a knight, potentially if you're a paladin, you want to bring an elemental weapon so that you can kill ghosts. So I've got my my level 60, I think. No, my level 50 relic sword. It's an enchantable weapon. I enchanted it with energy so that I have something to take care of these guys. Now, down here, I'm being a little, potentially making a bad move. There are, I got the hiccups. There are water elementals over here. I think there's 3 of them. They're definitely not good for knights, but I'm gonna make poor decisions and go play with them. But I'm trying to only get one of them on me at a time, because they're pretty dangerous. And also highly resistant to physical. Okay, there's one. There we go. Yeah, see, they're pretty resistant to physical. They don't have a whole bunch of HP. They have that really powerful attack, though. All in all, they kind of suck. They're decently profitable to hunt, but definitely not for knights, because they just hit really hard. Paladins can probably profit off of them. They poison also, as it appears. Paladins can probably profit off of them. Mages can definitely profit off them. I'm pretty sure they're super weak against electricity. So if you have like an electric rod or whatever, and if you had a fishing rod, and I do not, you can fish their bodies. Then you can get additional items out of them and stuff like that. I think the best thing that you can get out of them is a like Leviathan amulet, which is a like solidly decent thing to actually loot. There's another one over there. I'm kind of hoping I can get rid of this ghost before he comes over on me. And I'm also kind of hoping I can just get one of them on me. There should be 2 more. Combat knife. Ghosts drop a couple of things that are like semi-valuable, but for the most part they drop crap. Oh, you know what? Using this electric weapon is probably a better idea. There we go. You know, I think demon skeletons are also weak to electricity now that I think about it. Alright, well, that should be... I wish I had a whatchamacallit. Alright, I'm kind of... It was a little sketchy there. don't want a demon skeleton. Really, I just want Bonebeasts. And even then, I don't really want Bonebeasts because they kind of suck. How many more Bonebeasts do I... Let's antidote myself before I check this out. Bonebeasts. So I need 18 more Bonebeasts. Let me tell you, it cannot come soon enough. Alright, so that was the water elementals. They're not awesome. Yeah, it's more Bonebeast here. The Scorpion managed to poison me? Yeah, the Scorpion managed to poison me. Why wouldn't the Scorpion have managed to poison me? I mean, when it comes down to it, it's pretty obvious that the Scorpion was going to poison me. Oh man, it is so hot in here. I want winter back. This heat is for the birds. Alright, that is the hole you would normally come up when you first come to this place, Romoa. Real quick, I'm going to hop down this hole. Because I want to see how many Bonebeasts I have before I kill that already semi-injured Bonebeast. Because I want to see if that one counts as a kill for me, or if it doesn't count for a kill for me. Of course I hit it in black HP, but don't manage to kill it. Alright. Let's Xanapox myself. Alright, currently I have killing in the name of Bonebeast. Alright, so I have 83. Wrong one. There we go. There comes the injured Bonebeast. Alright, let's see, did that count? Because I think somebody else already put it underneath half HP. And normally you have to do... Oh, okay, it did count. Now I wonder if that's because that person logged off, or how that worked out. Oh, man, it is hot though. It is hot and it is humid and it kind of sucks in every conceivable way. Every conceivable way. I suppose I could be like covered in bugs right now, and that's like something that could like maybe theoretically happen. So I shouldn't knock it, but still. And the Scorpion managed to hit me. Yeah, I really wanted to set the webcam up this week, but like, as I mentioned, I was going to wear a mask, and I can barely exist right now without a mask. I can't keep fans on because they make too much noise and they interfere with the microphone. So I'm stuck just being hot and miserable. I want winter back. I want to live in Siberia. Siberia sounds wonderful. Crypt Shamblers are not super profitable monsters either. Sometimes they drop some decent stuff, but not frequently enough for me to care. And Bonebeast are definitely not profitable monsters to hunt, is one thing. The wiki specifically mentions about how Bonebeast are supposed to be profitable for a paladin to hunt, and maybe they're profitable for a paladin to hunt. They were not profitable for Silveus to hunt in Helheim. I don't know if they'd be profitable on this place, Romoa. But yeah, they were definitely not profitable for Silveus on Helheim. They were not like unprofitable. It's not like I wasted money as Silveus. Oh god. Went a little low there. Yeah, anyway, it wasn't like I wasted money hunting them with Silveus. It's just that they drop like next to nothing. the odds of getting any kind of like useful items from them are relatively low. The skinning them to get hardened bones is also relatively low chance of success. Long story short, they suck. A lot. The one thing I guess you can say about them is they give a decent amount of EXP. So I think if you were a paladin, if you could fight them without needing to waste tons of supplies, like I currently do, I think you could probably make some decent EXP off of Bonebeasts. I think a lot of monsters are designed to be like hunted for money. Other monsters are designed to be hunted for like specific items, and I think some monsters are designed to be hunted for EXP. And following that logic, Bonebeasts are an EXP monster. On the other hand, though, I'm sure there's things that are probably better. I do believe that the reason why Tibia started the whole like task system was because there were certain monsters that nobody was wanting to hunt. Like Bonebeast, for instance. Alright. So I believe that's why they started doing tasks. Be like, alright, nobody wants to hunt Bonebeast, but Bonebeast are really cool, so we'll give them a quest that tells them to hunt Bonebeast, and then people will suddenly start hunting Bonebeast, is the logic I think they used. Ugh, a ghost. Oh man. Again, I need to comment, it's so incredibly hot. Bonebeast? 7 more Bonebeasts to go. A Morning Star, I guess I'll just take that randomly. Yeah, the giant spider's back. Bonebeast, I'm not sorry, not Bonebeast. Giant spiders could, in theory, be profitable for me to hunt. But I would need to be able to hunt like a decent amount of them quickly. And that is not the current situation. And the scorpions managed to poison me again. I feel like I take more damage. I mean, obviously I take more damage as Silveus, or on Dao Dao over Silveus. Because, you know, Dao Dao's always in the thick of things. But I feel like Silveus is able to block significantly more. Again, I suppose that makes sense because Silveus' shielding is higher, and they both use the same Mastermind shield, so I guess that makes sense. It's a little weird, though, to see my Paladin somehow, like, more durable than my Knight. Alright, Mr. Bonebeast, let's play. The scorpions managed to keep hitting me, which is kind of annoying. Oh god. The funny thing is that like I still am having such an incredibly hard time remembering what my search and hotkeys are. And I'm almost positive when I switch back to Silveus, I'm going to have the exact same problem. So on a entirely unrelated side note, I am a semi-fan of Star Trek. I'm not going to call myself a Trekkie, for instance, but I do like Star Trek. It's actually my aunt that got me into it. She took me to see the Star Trek, the First Contact movie with like the Next Generation movie with the Borg, if anybody saw that one. Hopefully people know what the Borg is. I feel like knowing what the Borg is kind of like common culture stuff. Killing in the name of... Oh my god, 2 more. Anyway. So yeah, she took me to see that movie when I was like a kid. I actually saw it in the movie theaters, and it was kind of scary. It was also cool, like... This is actually true of another movie that I really enjoyed. Independence Day. Remember the Independence Day movie, IE4? I think it came out in 94, with like the aliens, Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, I think his name is. That, by the way, I know the name of like 4 actors, and that was 2 of them right there. Anyway, it's cool how like the first time I watched that, I was like, oh, it's got like aliens and it's cool and stuff. And then as I grew a little bit older and less of an idiot, it suddenly like, oh wow. I like suddenly knew and was able to like recognize a whole bunch more things and stuff. Like, obviously, you know, the first time I watched it, I've never played chess, so I mean, you know, all the like chess references were just completely over my head. Am I done? Am I done, Bonebeast? Oh my god, I'm done, Bonebeasts. Let's leave and never return. And by never return, I mean kind of like return almost immediately. Oh, I totally went through the wrong teleport. Because I still have to do this task 2 more times. Before I finish talking about Star Trek, I just went right back to... I'm an idiot. Yeah, you can do each of the tasks 3 times. So I can kill the Bonebeast boss here, do the task again, kill the Bonebeast boss again, and then do it 1 more time. But anyway. So yeah, I'm like a Star Trek fan to a certain extent. Mostly, I think I mentioned this in one of my FTL Let's Plays, but I'll reiterate in case people don't watch both. I find the concept of like ship battles to be fascinating. Not just space battles, although space battles are certainly fascinating. I like the idea that a ship forms like a unit where, like, you know, if you're like an admiral, for instance, and you're planning your ship, your formation or whatever, you're I hope this guy doesn't just randomly try to kill me. Let's see what level is he. Oh, I mean, that scared the crap out of me. Back in the day in Tibia, there was not like a PvP mode that you turned on. So if you just did an area effect attack like that, anybody that was standing in it would have gotten hit. Alright, I'm going back to Liberty Bay. Yes, man. And then I want to go back to Port Hope. Yes, man. Hiya. Porto Hopo. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is spell Port Hope right. Hope. There we go. Alright, so now I gotta go turn in my quest stuff. But as I was saying about the whole thing. So, like, ships form like a single unit, obviously. You know, you're not like half of the crew of this ship goes there and half the crew of the same ship goes over there. It's like the whole ship goes into one spot. It functions on like a scale of ships. So you have 4 ships, or you have 100 ships, or however many ships you have is what you have. So the ships like function like they would like single soldiers. But in reality, a ship has like multiple people on it. And I find the idea that like all of their fates are connected in that sense to be kind of like a fascinating concept. I of course like Star Trek for various other reasons. I never watched much of the original series. I probably couldn't go back to it with like the crazy old, well, bad acting and bad special effects. I was a big fan of The Next Generation. I like Captain Picard. Voyager I never got into. I never watched anything of Enterprise. And Deep Space Nine, I didn't like most of the characters, but I liked the premise was just a war. And it was just constant, non-stop space battles. And huge space battles, too. Like, you know, space battles in Next Generation, they were few and far between, but most of them were like 1 versus 2 ships or something like that, while they kind of just strafed each other and fired blindly. You get The Next Generation, and I'm sorry, you get Deep Space Nine. Alright, sick. You get experience points for turning these into, if that wasn't obvious. So yeah, you have Deep Space Nine then, where it's just like 100 or 1,000 on 1,000 fleet battles or something like that. This guy can take me to the. Ooh, I want to go west, not east. I'm already on the east. There we go. So now we're going to boat to Port Hope. I am, however, going to end the video here to make the boss into its own separate video, in case anybody's interested specifically in fighting the bosses. So once I get the Anchorman, I will end there. But anyway, so the reason why I brought up the whole Star Trek thing, yes? Yeah. The reason why I brought up the whole Star Trek thing is because a couple weeks ago, like 2, I discovered that Amazon, I'm an Amazon Prime member, Amazon Prime has all of the episodes of every Star Trek season available for free. So my life has been ruined in that sense. It gives me something nice to do now, though, because I can't keep the computer on running because of the heat. So I need to like do a little bit of video game playing and then be like, all right, time to break because of the heat. I gotta go back to that stupid guy and tell him I want to take the Ancient Scarab tasks again. Bah, humbug. Anyway, alright, well, there's no reason to make you guys watch me do that meaningless chore. So for now, I will end the video. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, you know, the same thing I say every single time. I gotta start saying it at the beginning of the video, though. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll be immediately back to do the 2 bosses, Fleshcrawler and Ribstride. Bam.